The audit in Arizona will continue for now after the new judge overseeing the lawsuit that was filed by state Democrats declined to order an injunction. Judge Daniel Martin heard arguments from the Dems about why they think the audit should be stopped. However, Martin declined to halt the forensic team from continuing on with their work, saying he needs more time to think about the requested relief from the plaintiffs. The last-minute lawsuit was filed last week, seeking to block the audit in Maricopa County just hours before the audit was slated to start. They claimed contractors hired by the Arizona Senate, which ordered the election review, were not properly securing ballots and equipment. Judge Martin said that the Senate has the authority to audit the more than 2 million ballots and dozens of electronic tabulators, but they must balance their work with the constitutional rights of voters. Arizona's Senate subpoenaed the election documents and machines in January. The following month, a judge ruled the subpoenas were valid and must be obeyed. Defendants, including the Senate, say that since the process is already underway, along with an alleged lack of standing and valid claims, means the judge should not stop the audit. The Senate believes everything plaintiffs want either does not apply or is already being done, and that there is no need for an injunction at all. The audit, which started on April 23rd, is being live streamed on azaudit.org using 9 different cameras. All work is done in front of those cameras, and both the ballots and the machines under review are always in view of the cameras. In addition, media has been allowed into the Coliseum to oversee the work.
This is about wrong and right, and we want to be on the side of what's right. I hear that President Fan said this morning that when half the people are wondering about the integrity of their elections, there's only one group of people that can do something about it, and that's the leaders that are elected to look and see if they can identify anything that we can do better in Arizona's election processes. I was Secretary of State for 6 years. During that 6 years, I oversaw 12 state elections, including the only recount of a state election in the history of the state of Arizona. And the election family in Arizona is full of Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, and others who want one thing, and that is to have integrity in our elections. And I think so we have to do everything we can to protect the sanctity of the ballot box. You know, we're never going to get 100% of the people to agree on who should win the election, but we should have as close as possible to 100% of the people who have confidence that the election process was done with integrity. And that's what we're here to do. Let's talk some process. Everything that's happening over at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, we're trying to make it as transparent as possible. We are making sure that everything is secure. The people working on the process are secure. The ballots are secure. Ever since the machines and the ballots were delivered, we've had 24/7 armed security guarding the ballots. I think there's only 2 people in the building, and one of them is not me, that has the keys to the ballot corrals that you can see on the 24/7 live streaming. Everything is very secure, but I'm not going to talk about the details of our security plan. Everything that's happening there is just about processing the ballots, and there's nothing happening there that would violate the identity of any voters or any privileged voter information. Now, I know a lot of people have made up their mind as to whether this audit is necessary or not. I'm sure a lot of those that have answered that no are in this audience, but it doesn't matter really what your mind has already been made up. We are here to make sure that Arizona voters can have faith and confidence that the elections that we conduct in this state, in this county, have integrity. So this gentleman to my left, you always tell me that elections ought to be what?
They need to be transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. And in the election that we're auditing, they're claiming that this thing has been audited 2 or 3 times. It hasn't, and I'll explain to you very simply why it wasn't.
Right here in the mic.
Okay. I was there for the August primary. I spent 3 weeks in Maricopa. And first I want to tell you, I think it could be one of the best election departments in the United States. And when I got to the hand count audit that they did, and I was part of that process, we picked 50 batches of ballots, and they were picked before the election. We picked 2 to 4 batches per day. Now, I want to remind you that they were picked before the election. And then we went ahead and we put in what I call a scarlet letter. The scarlet letter is, here is the results for those 50 batches, okay? Now, those 50 batches were audited and they added up perfect, but they were flawed. You picked 50 batches before the election before you've committed the results. And that means is that if you have 9,600 batches, you pick 50, you only count 25, an insider could know what batches not to hack. It's like saying that we got 9,600 batches in the state, and I'm going to put 50 cops at 50 batches, those banks, and because those banks were not robbed, we know that the other 9,500 were not.
We're here to talk about the audit of an election in Maricopa County that the Senate had the courage to initiate, and it's going to help people around this state and around this country know that they have complete confidence in their elections or where we can make them better. So that's all the time I have. I'm over there working from 6:30 in the morning until midnight, and I'm going to get back over there and do my job. Thank you for doing your job and coming today.